I'm Corbett Wall with DV Auction, here with your feeder flash for Friday, November the 16th, where we've seen some gathering back up of the markets, your futures too, your cash markets, your feeder cattle, the calves even, everything kind of starting to bunch back up here later in the week. It really looked tough early in the week as it appeared that they were really going to lower the boom again on the cash fat cattle market. Your board was down hard. Everything was down hard. Your dressed beef prices were down. Calves were falling out of bed. Just couldn't seem to find a hole for them. But by the end of the week, we'd found some support on the calf market, albeit at lower levels. Your weather had kind of straightened up, but some storms had blown through and went on out to the east. But it left behind consistently cold weather, which is a lot easier to straighten calves up in, and it just kind of felt like maybe the sky wasn't falling by the end of the week. But we've still yet to see where the bulk of our fat cattle are going to trade, but it might be a pinch better than what we thought. Not better than last week, but maybe better than what we thought. Your board on Thursday, December live cattle futures up 55 cents, up twice in a row. That's a big deal. Ending the day on Thursday at 155.15. February was up a half a dollar at 119.10. November feeder cattle down 35 cents at 148.62. And January was up 87. Been a lot of support for out front feeder contracts this latter part of the week. But January ended the day on Thursday at 147.85. Your fat cattle trade through Wednesday, we had seen just under 9,000 head sell, and it was a ton lower, the little bit of sales that we saw on the northern plains, of course. 110 to 113 compared to 114, 115 market the previous week. 175 to 176 compared to 179, 180 market last week. But by Thursday, things were starting to come around a little bit. Some of your packers were just a little bit short bought because they're expecting huge kills after the holiday week. So even though they're going into this light holiday week next week, they are expecting to have a monster kill for a couple of weeks there between Thanksgiving and Christmas to try to bolster their cases up to get ready for a lot of big orders around the holiday and New Year's Eve even. But look, on Thursday we saw some early sales. Nothing really broke loose yet. They may end up having some sales and doing this in the afternoon instead of the late evening. Got to head out to East Texas for the East Texas Alliance Bull Sale in Pollock, Texas this weekend. But in Iowa, around 900 head early in the day, selling mostly at 178. Now that's still a pinch lower than last week, mostly $1 lower, but still better than what we'd seen earlier in the week. This week on 175, 176. So not the worst in the world. Nebraska selling less than 900 head, mostly $1.12 live. Which is kind of what we're afraid we might have to live with in 178 dressed. But in the southern plains, where market ready supplies are much tighter, and we should see the market be a bit of a premium to the northern plains because they don't have as many giant cattle that the packers have suddenly decided that they don't want, but really they take them just right along. They just want things at a lower price. But we did see pretty widespread bids of 113 on Thursday in the south, and it still didn't break anything loose yet. So we figure it's going to be at least 113 in the south and maybe 114 if we get a little bit of a boost from the board on Friday morning, which is hard to come by, but it could happen. Box beef cutout values continued lower all week this week, so you got to feel for those packers. They're probably only making $200 or $300 a head now as these box beef cutout values continue to slip lower. But choice cuts on Thursday afternoon, 213.16 down 92 cents, and select cuts 197.18 down $1.80 with a choice select spread just under $16. And your slaughter has been behind all week long because of some early week breakdowns in Kansas there, but 467,000 through Thursday. That was 6,000 less than the prior week and 12,000 less than the same week a year ago. Your actual dressed steer weights for the week ending November the 3rd jumped back up there again, up 4 pounds compared to the previous report, and at 899 pounds. And I tell you, it's really tough when the packers have decided that they want to discount heavy carcasses, and your average dressed steer carcass is 900 pounds. So, you know, it's just all going right to them. But let's look at your feeder cattle markets. Your real-time index on Cattle Market Central on Thursday afternoon sitting at 144.71, down another $2.40. And I tell you what, that thing is really cratered this week and going to be more than $5 lower for the week. But you look at your cattle on feed report, it's going to come out on Wednesday on the holiday week instead of Thursday, and so that's a little bit different. So people will be really looking at the cattle on feed report early next week in the short holiday week. But you look at Pratt, Kansas, 2,700 head there. Had the early call, and it was sure lower. I looked on Cattle Market Central, and it sure looked lower there too, and just didn't culminate there for them on this Thursday. But on Cattle Market Central, looked at the most popular weight, which was 6-weight steer calves. 478 head of them, averaged 659 pounds at 140.19. That was more than $5 lower. Look at some other individual quotes. Wheeler and Son Livestock in Osceola, Missouri, have never talked about that market before. It's kind of a cow sale and a family operation there, but 52 head of 619 pound steer calves bring 162.50. Columbus, Nebraska had some more of those big steers that everybody still wants, even though they're acting like they're not going to take these heavy carcasses anymore, but they're still buying up the big feeders. 65 head of steers weighed 911 at 156.25. And 3 state stockyards in Falls City, Nebraska. The Witt family there sent me some information on a big string of cattle they always get from northeast Kansas there. 386 head of yearling steers there, put together but pretty good kind. 851 pounds at 161.60. And that's your feeder flash for Friday.